off top. All right. So, minus the two teams that are playing right now, who do you think had the best third down conversion rate of this weekend? Play music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
Welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show, presented by Allstate. Throw your hands up. I'm joined, as I am every Monday, by my good friend Bill Barnwell and my co-host Charlie Kravitz. The trivia question is definitely not the third time we're doing this. You got to answer for me, Bill. Whose offense could not be stopped on third down today? 57% of the time success rate. It might surprise you.
I'm going to say the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nope, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, I didn't even get to guess. That's tough.
Sorry. Mason Rudolph taking off.
Yeah.
Hand it over. Sorry, Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's get to What?
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, let's get to the games because this was the most fun I think I had watching football in a long time. Like, was this the best witching hour of the season so far?
It was until the end of the 4 o'clock slate, which is even better, guys. I am delighted. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah.
So, to the audience, we're taping this at halftime of Rams-Bucks. I'm assuming the Rams closed out that game. They're up 31-7 and looked like the most dominant team in the NFL when we started taping this. So it was a great slate, but we have to start with Cowboys-Eagles. Cowboys 24, Eagles 21. The Eagles blew a 21-point lead. And how about them Cowboys? We'll get to the Cowboy stuff. We'll get to George Pickens, but we got to start with the Birds.
The Eagles have been this whole season. And I think the funny thing is the Eagles fans have been as concerned about the Eagles offense as I think the people like us who are talking about them.
More.
You disagree with that?
I would say they're more concerned.
Right.
Like, I feel like we're the people who are like, listen, guys, you're still fine. It's okay.
In general, it feels like everyone has been waiting for this to happen because all of us fans, Eagles fans included, they're not like blindly supporting their team saying, no, our offense is good, shut up, they're going to be fine. They all have been expecting this to happen, and I think the reason why it jumps out. Go ahead, Charlie.
Let me ask you this, though.
Okay.
Coming off of this game, because this game felt done and dusted. I think if you had put us in a time machine, genuinely, from 9 months ago after they won that Super Bowl, being like, this Eagles team is up 21-0 in a game. Mm-hmm. Would it be possible to come back on them? We'd be like, no, Saquon's going to run for $145 in the second half.
Sure.
The defense is not going to is going to shut them down. And both sides of the ball, not just the offense. And I'll take off my troll hat for a second because there's actual football to be talked about beyond me trolling Eagles fans. Trust me, I would have done the same to Cowboys fans had you blown this 21-point lead. But what side was more disappointing if you were that concerned Eagles fan, the offense or the defense? Because a week ago, we lauded this defense with their remade defensive line as being maybe the most trustworthy unit in the entire league.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it's the offense. Like, I think the defense, the league is not designed for defenses to dominate week in and week out. Mm-hmm. And this defense wasn't bad in this game. Like, you can go back and look at the explosive plays. I don't think the defense was bad in this game. Like, there were big plays that they gave up. There were penalties that were missed on a stiff arm to DeJean's face that ended up being a CeeDee Lamb big catch. Pickens took a ball off of someone's back. Like, these
protecting his man DeJean.
I'm not. I mean, you watched that
touch his
offensive pass
face.
interference.
It's just a little hand fighting.
Whatever. So, like, I guess my point is, leaving this game, there's certainly criticism you can make of the defense, but I'm not worried about the defense, I guess is how I feel. The offense, on the other hand, it seems like it's still, even if you target AJ 10 times, he gets 8 catches for 110. This offense still, like, they didn't score any points after the first quarter. It was bad. Like, that is much more concerning than what the defense did, especially considering that they weren't getting much support from the offense. And, of course, their fumbles, it was a muff punt, right? Or no, it was a fumble. It wasn't muff. They caught it and fumbled the punt. Like, there were issues that I think made it difficult for their defense, who ended up standing up and forcing no points on that punt fumble. What? They did.
Forcing no points. They forced CeeDee Lamb to drop a touchdown, who apparently CeeDee Lamb can't catch passes against the Cowboys.
It worked.
It worked, but you said forced. There was no verb. They watched as CeeDee Lamb dropped what should have been a touchdown. The defense did not play great in this game. They had a couple of okay plays, a couple of okay drives early on, but the Cowboys moved the ball throughout the game. And when the Cowboys did not score, it felt more like it was a Cowboys mistake than an Eagles mistake. Even go back to, was it Turpin who fumbled basically handed the ball to the Eagles with a fumble. Like, this was not a well-played game by either offense or either defense. It was a game where there were a few spectacular dudes who made spectacular plays, and Cowboys had as many of those as the Eagles did.
As many what? Like spectacular plays? Or
many dudes. As many spectacular dudes as the Eagles did. And they might have had the most spectacular dude in George Pickens, who, I mean...
It's incredible.
Is he the best receiver in football? Is he one of the 2 or 3 best? His numbers are right up there with Puka, right up there with JSN after like the first couple weeks of the year. Like he is on a route-by-route basis been as efficient, as dominant, and as physically imposing as anybody in football.
I'm surprised, and maybe you are being a good guest and making sure that we cover this whole game, but I'm surprised that you walk out of this game and you think like less of the Eagles defense than the Eagles offense. Like, I felt like this was what we had all been kind of warning against, is if you have this talent on offense, you cannot allow the game to be close. You have to be aggressive and score and score and score and continue to push, because if you allow the game to be close, there may be some explosive plays, some bad calls, some fumbles that go against you. Like, this was exactly what we were warning against. And I guess I'm surprised that the result of this game is that you're more interested in talking about how the defense came up short, because I don't have any long-term concerns about this defense. I do about the offense.
Well, this is the same offense we've seen all year, though, right? Like this is the offense that has been consistently either able to put together a great first half or a really good second half or a good quarter or a good explosive play or two. But there's no consistency. There's no reliability. There's nothing you can hang your hat on. There's no thing you can sit here and say, okay, we need a first down. We're going to this concept. We're going to that player. That guy's going to get open. They don't have that. And so they haven't had that all season. To me, like, this is no different than a bunch of other games they've played where they went up a bunch early and then kind of hung on for dear life as they could not do anything on offense. And it felt like, in the past, the defense was able to bail them out. And in this game, the defense was not able to bail the Eagles out.
I tend to fall on the side that you do, Domonique, that the offense is the more concerning part. I think it was shocking to see the defense give up some of these points. But to your point earlier, some of them were defense agnostic, like the Pickens catch where he's mossing someone, fading to the right, to the side. It was unbelievable. Like, and that's like, it's again, some of the best defensive backs in the league. But to me, if you're talking about the most concerning aspect of this, it's something we've talked about on this show a good bit, which is the Eagles have spent a lot of the season chasing the ceiling that they had last year offensively by having an incredibly dominant running game. And anything is possible. It's late in 3. They're obviously going to be a high seed in the playoffs. But it seems to be going even the opposite direction. Like, they got A.J. Brown going today. He was very good in this game. Seeing Saquon Barkley have 10 carries for 22 yards and look like he's a different player than he was last year, at least currently, like, that's incredibly concerning. And it's not to say that it's just him. Obviously, the offensive line has suffered injuries. Lane Johnson is not playing. Dickerson and Juergens have been injured off and on this entire season. But that offense, without its running game or being even close to what it was last year, it's a completely different identity for the Eagles. And it's like, to me, that's a huge reason of why a lead that we thought they'd be able to salt away with what we think the identity of this team is likely that, like, we could see this happen again unless they figure out the running game.
We've had this conversation before, right? Like, this question of, should the Eagles just stick with the run, have that be their identity, because at the end of the day they need that, or should they be a pass first team? Should they lean into the passing game? Should they even lead into the passing game when they are ahead? And it feels like they kind of did that in this game. Jalen Hurts, in a game where they were up 21-0, about 16 minutes in, Jalen Hurts dropped back, I believe, 40 times in this game. Mm-hmm. Saquon had 10 carries. Tank Bigsby had a carry. Jalen had a couple of design runs, a couple of tush pushes for touchdowns. But this was a very pass-focused offense for the Philadelphia Eagles. And usually if you pass more, that means your running game gets a little more efficient. They got worse. They averaged 2.2 yards per carry with their MVP caliber running back. I have been of the volition that it's a lot of variance. Saquon's just not breaking a lot of big runs. I think Saquon's fine. He's breaking big runs as a receiver, so should be able to break it as a running back. It kind of feels like it's just never going to happen this year with the Eagles running game, is it?
It definitely doesn't. And Nate Tice tweeted this out, which is a stat via True Media, that the Eagles had a 18.8% success rate running the ball today, which is their lowest since week 2 of 2015. And I want to ask you this, Domonique. When you watch them, do you think Saquon looks different this year?
Yeah.
Like less explosive?
I would say no, but I mean, the numbers don't support that.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's hard. Sometimes it could be imperceptible. Like and it's not fair just to use this one game, but like it's negative yards over expected in this game from like, and I wanted to say like it's from shotgun. They need to get under center and help, but like no, it's from every alignment. They just can't run the ball nearly as well as they did before. And yards over expected, like you would expect, that's as close as we can get to like isolating the running back and say like in this situation, a normal back will get this. But like, so in this game, at least Saquon, you put the fumble on top of it. Saquon was not the best version of himself.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of that fumble and then the muff punt, also, I guess it wasn't even a muff punt, the punt where the guy got rocked and fumbled. It was crazy that this comeback happened and the Cowboys didn't score off of those turnovers. I know it was field position, but it was largely these really splash offensive plays. So before we get to the Cowboy side of it, if you were the Eagles fan and you want to give the Eagles fans some cope coming out of this game, what would you take away of this? Would it just be that this was sort of flukish, the way that this went down?
No. It'd be impossible to say that and them to think that I was being serious because all year we've been saying the opposite. We've been predicting that something like this is going to happen. So I would say that if you are excited about I think that we're a lot harder on the Eagles because we know what they were last year.
They won the Super Bowl. They're one of the most dominant rosters we had seen.
And it was the way that they did it last year. I think that they're obviously still a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The NFC is, well, the league in general is not super tough. Like it's the Rams seem like they've separated themselves from just about everyone, and everyone else is beatable.
Beat the Rams.
Yeah, and the Eagles did beat the Rams with 2 blocked field goals. Right. So maybe they have to keep working on their field goal block. Was it Jordan Davis got them, right? Yeah. So I guess that would be I would say that you have a chance this year. Last year, you were better than everyone else. This year, you're in the mix, and that's the best that you could say, right? You're near the top of the mix. You disagree, Bill?
No, I don't disagree. I think you're right in that this team is being judged by last year's team, and they ain't that good. They're not last year's team, but nobody in the NFL is last year's team when it comes to the Eagles. Like, there's no one who comes close to that standard right now, and so if you're an Eagles fan, yes, you're not separating the way you did last year. Yes, it's fair to have questions, shall we say, about Kevin Patullo and this offense. Yes, it's fair to wonder, why can't we run the football when we were the most dominant rushing attack in recent league history last season? It's not going to be fun for me to tell you that most of it I really do think is just variance. But I do think on the big plays, that's what it is. Saquon had a crazy, out of line with his career, big play rate last year. That was never going to happen again. But what I do think is concerning, what I do think they have to have, is a functional rushing attack. They don't have to be 10 for 95. They don't have to be 14 for 150 with Saquon. But could they be 10 for 40? Could they pick up a couple first downs here and there? Could they not be in 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9 every drive? Because that's where I feel like this offense breaks down. Jalen Hurts is not built to be a 3rd and 9 quarterback. These pass protectors without Lane Johnson, not built to be a 3rd and 9 unit. This team wants to be a team in advantageous down and distances because of their run game. And so if they can't be successful on first down, if they can't just be on schedule on first down, I don't trust them consistently picking that up on 3rd down. They might have games, they might have stretches where they do that, but they will not do that on a weekly basis. And you saw it in this game. They could not get out in front of the schedule, and then they made sloppy mistakes in the rare times that they did.
Yeah. We should talk Cowboys side. Yes. Which is just this team is really fun. They're really fun to watch. The offense is super explosive with the 2 receivers. We've roasted Jerry, rightfully so, for a lot of the trades he made. Trading a 3 and a 5 for Pickens was unbelievable. Obviously the value is probably not there, but the run defense has been pretty good with Quentin Williams and Ken Clark. But anyway, we should talk about the pick.
One game the Raiders decided weirdly not to even try running the football.
I mean, the Eagles kind of gave up on it too.
That's fair. It's just the threat. You just see Quentin Williams lining up, and you're like, man, that dude, Jerry traded a 2 for that guy. We should just not even bother. I mean,
I would trade a 1 and a 2 if it guaranteed that all my opponents would stop trying to run against me. Is that way he made some sort of deal? But yeah, no, I mean, I think we could go back to all the decisions that Jerry made, including like hiring the coach, and they all were like fair to be super critical of at the time because the process seemed ridiculous. But it might have cost them too much. Like, it seems like it cost them too much. It doesn't feel like they're going to be able to make it back into the playoff race. But it does seem like this team, it's tough. They're going to have to, they have a really tight schedule. They have to beat the Chiefs again, or beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then they have, They have the Lions, then the Vikings. Yeah. So, I mean, they're tough games.
You're throwing the Vikings in that mix with the Lions and Chiefs?
Vikings are not an easy win. I understand. We'll get to a McCarthy conversation, but just in general, I think if you could...
Might be Max Brosmer at that point.
Yeah. I guess my point is, if you're going to pick up from the trade deadline to now, sure, this looks like an entirely different team. Of course, it's only 2 games, but if this was the vision of the team that they were going to build, it's come together pretty nicely. This team is super fun to watch. Their defense worked really well against this offense. I'm not sure that it would be the same against the top of the league, but I think they're playing as good as just about anybody in NFC right now.
So, I mean, Dak's been unbelievable too. Like, there's like the defense, but like, no, Dak's had such a good season, and the Pickens thing, like, Bill, like, I'm like fascinated by this. He's on a team with CeeDee Lamb, and we've never doubted George Pickens' talent since his time at Georgia, but he looks like, outside of JSN and Jamar Chase, he looks like I'm not saying he is. I'm saying just like the splash plays. He looks like the best receiver on the planet right now. It's crazy. And this is a forward-facing thing, but he is a free agent, and they're going to. I assume they'll franchise tag him. But if they don't, what's the price tag for a George Pickens? Like,
well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
the franchise tag is going to be the price tag because the Cowboys are franchising George Pickens this offseason. $28 million, which feels like in a league where, Jamar Chase 40, Justin Jefferson 35. Guys are going to be getting in that range. Like I think Alec Pierce is going to get 25 this year in free agency. Getting George Pickens for 28 is going to feel mighty nice. And given what they paid, remember, this was a trade where it wasn't just, this guy might not be worth it. It was like this is going to be the Antonio Brown trade, where he's not even going to make it to the roster. Like he is going to be, by
How
week
crazy 3, is that?
Week 3, he's going to be hitting pile drivers on Brian Schottenheimer on the sideline, and they're going to have to cut him. Like, he's going to be uncontrollable without Mike Tomlin figuring out what to do with this guy. And he's been great. I mean, he did miss curfew in Las Vegas, which who among us? But like, he's been great, and it's a major, major asset in terms of what the Cowboys can do with this contract. Like, if they want to keep George Pickens around, great. They can get a deal done. If they want to franchise him and go year to year, they can do that. I'm sorry, Domonique. I know this is your show. I don't want to bring up the F word.
No, go ahead.
If they decide, okay, we're one and done, man, you got an incredible year.
There's no way they can be one and done. This is the best receiver duo in the league.
I think can we cross that bridge when we get to it? Like, I got excited. Yeah, I want to focus on this team as it is now. I felt
good hosting. Hand up.
I felt Bill Barnwell skin itching when I said that this team is playing almost as well as anybody in the NFC now. Going off of just a 2-game sample.
You said the defense. This team, they went down 21-0.
I said the team, but okay, I meant the team if I said the defense. The defense is playing really well. It's playing much better than it was before.
Agreed.
Than it was earlier in the season.
The bar was below the floor.
Yeah. They were historically bad earlier in the season.
They allowed Bo Nix to score 44 points 2 weeks before the trade deadline.
This team is an
different team, Bill.
I'm not sure I can look up the probabilities of them making the playoffs. It feels like I'm less optimistic that they're going to get in than you guys. I'm rooting for it. It would be incredible, but I don't think that there's anybody that they can't beat if you match them up against them, given how well their defense has played the last couple of weeks and how insane George Pickens is.
Domonique, give me a number. Throw a number out there for me. I have the upshots, or now I guess it's the Athletics playoff prediction. What percentage do you think the Cowboys are to make the postseason right now?
It has to be 30-something. I'll go 32.
It says 13% here.
That's way too high.
So you would go higher than that.
I would go higher than that. The playoff probabilities is based on the season long, not just what this team is right now. So I think I give them a little couple bonus points because I think this team is better than they were. And very few teams change this much in the course of one season. But I still think it's unlikely that they would make it, which is disappointing because they had a couple of close, like they had a tie. There's a couple of close losses. There were also some Pickens that they caught there along the way. But this team is so fun to watch. I'm not sure that I've had more fun like watching a football game so far this season than that one, watching Dak. I mean, it just was fun.
I really wish we got to see it. We were talking about this before the show. A Texans versus Cowboys game to see the Texans defense versus the Cowboys offense. It would be so fun.
A battle for Texas. It would be fun.
Yeah. And just like the most aesthetically pleasing offense and defense in the NFL playing against each other are up there for both sides of both units. Let's move to Colts Chiefs.
Wait. Hold up. Before we get to Colts Chiefs, Cowboys Chiefs, do you think the Cowboys have a shot at home of beating the Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
And part of that because they're at home. They're one of the best. Like their offenses seems completely different at home in the Dome in Jerry World.
And also, we're going to get into why I think it's possible now as we talk about the Chiefs, who won not miraculously, but like impressively, they pulled off the win, or unimpressively pulled off a win. So I don't want to start this by bagging on the Chiefs because they won. It was like all those cliche things that you say about an older team is they're clutch, and in those big moments they came through, but it still doesn't feel like they've solved anything. Every week we wait for the Chiefs to like solve it and look like the old Chiefs. They give us a glimpse a few weeks ago, but since then we haven't seen anything that was all that impressive. I think the defense was incredible in this game. I give their defense a ton of credit, but
you know how many first downs the Chiefs had in this game, Domonique?
How many?
33. They had the 33 first downs in this game.
That's a lot of first downs.
That's a lot. That's a lot of first downs. And understand they didn't have the most explosive game ever. It was a lot of like,
94 yards.
Dinking and dunking.
A lot of yards.
I mean, I think they were more dominant in this game than you are giving them credit for.
So it's their red zone struggles makes it feel as though they're not as good, being able to force the field goals. Maybe.
That's what it felt like. It felt like they kept down their leg in the red zone.
Domonique, they had a delectable Thanksgiving spread presented out in front of them. They prepared a feast. And then they just kind of mushed their hands around and played with it for a while. They just got into all these different textures. It was just a big pile of mushy food, but it still tasted good after they mushed it all up. That's what the Chiefs did in this game. They were sloppy, but they left themselves with enough margin for error that they were able to pull it out.
Not much. They were down 20-9 with like...
I just experienced this game so much differently than you did. And I get it. They're able to move the ball. You're right. And they struggled in the red zone. But at no point did I feel like they were in control of this game in the way that you feel like the Chiefs normally are. Or like even last year when they were winning those one-score games, it felt like, and maybe this is like a vibes thing, but it just felt frustrating. Like it felt like their whole offense just felt frustrated the entire game, despite the fact that they were moving the ball. When they got in the red zone, they had struggles, and they made some impressive plays towards the end of the game, but it didn't feel to me that they had anything solved this whole time. They still, they ran the ball well.
A 100-yard rusher and receiver for the first time in eons.
Do you know what you're describing, Domonique? Almost to a T?
Sloppy mushing the food around?
You're describing the 2024 Kansas City Chiefs to a T.
Great defense.
I think what you're saying about this game is not wrong, but it's informed by the fact that we have seen the 2025 Chiefs for 10 weeks. You're filling in the gaps of, this Chiefs team does not really have that killer instinct. They're not going to pull it out in the end. They don't have that ability to elevate their game because they're regressing towards the mean or whatever you want to say. But this was the exact kind of game the 2024 Chiefs would win, and that's exactly what they did.
Did you just derisively say regression to the mean? Like, who are you? I can't imagine.
I am regression agnostic. Is what it boils down to.
So I guess my point is, last year we were concerned about them.
Sure.
This year I am concerned about them. It seems like you're telling me that I shouldn't be when I'm watching the games, and they're concerning.
Yeah. Well, so So here's a concerning part about it, and we'll get to the Colts of it too, is I flubbed a second ago saying this is the first time in forever they've had a 100-yard receiver and rusher. It's 100-yard receiver or 100-yard rusher, which is a sign of just how not explosive they have been offensively. And like they do dink and dunk. They do have fewer possessions and try and, accentuate the fact that they have like a maestro decision maker on third downs, whether or not like it's the third rail issue, talking about what's gone on with Patrick Mahomes' deep ball and big play stuff, and the all or nothing aspect of it. But I do think I fall somewhere between you guys where I left that game being like, whoa, there were moments where it felt like the Chiefs were putting everything on the table because it was like, this felt like a death rattle. If they lost this game, they weren't going to make the playoffs. And that was like deeply concerning for that happening in week 12. But I also didn't leave that game, which I'm guessing you did, thinking that the Colts like outplayed them. I didn't feel like the Colts are the better team, even when the Colts are up 20-9. It just felt like more Chiefs, I don't know, for lack of a better term.
No, I think I agree with you. There are plenty of reasons to be like concerned about the issues with the Colts offense and how that was deeply concerning. Yeah, how they kind of crumbled. They kind of like stopped
turtled.
Trying. Turtled is the right word. Is they just became very passive in the second half, and then when they tried to get aggressive again, Daniel Jones started hitting defenders with the football, and that was also a problem.
I think that's why they became passive.
Yeah, and that to me, it's like when we want to, and I've trumpeted it a number of times on this program that I was high on the Colts before the season started. I am concerned about the Colts because we've yet to see the offense be functional. It reminds me a little bit of the Eagles in that this machine works one way. And if that one thing isn't working, the machine doesn't work. It doesn't have any like flexibility and versatility.
It's kind of like me, I feel like. This was a winnable game for the Colts. They came up with some big plays. They got an early turnover on an RPO, set them up for a short field score. They get another turnover in the red zone. But like, we've talked about this offense as a juggernaut. I mean, the numbers are not good, not great, historically good for this Colts offense. With a chance to win this game, fourth quarter, they're up by 2 scores. They have the football. They go 3 and out with 1 run. Chiefs score. They go 3 and out with no runs. They go 3 and out again with no runs. And then in overtime, they go 3 and out and they run the ball twice. They ran the ball 3 times with a lead or on the first drive of overtime across 4 drives where they went 3 and out. And when you have like Jonathan Taylor, who is being legitimately and deservedly talked about, I guess until Matthew Stafford tonight took the race over, but like was a legitimate MVP candidate, when you had the offensive line where you felt really good about it, when you had a run game that was like at the core of what you do, I'm sure the Colts presented some heavier boxes. I'm sure the Colts gave you stuff to look at, but like this was the time. Like I cannot believe they got away from Jonathan Taylor in that moment. And it wasn't for like you said, an aggressive attacking offense. It was a lot of kind of scared Daniel Jones throws in response, which is not a positive to me.
Walking away from that game, I think I want to be able to have like a strong statement about one team or the other, and I don't feel like I can have one. Like I would have.
How dare you be reasonable?
No, I mean, I think coming into this game, I wanted to come out of this game saying either the Chiefs are back or the Colts have like cleared that last hurdle and showed that they can go with these big dogs, because I know everyone still respects the Chiefs, and the Colts were positioned to do that, be it because of turnovers and fluky things, but then they didn't. And then the Chiefs were in position multiple times to look like they were the Chiefs of old, but they get down to like the 3-yard line and have to settle for a field goal and go into overtime. It's just, there was nothing definitive about this game to me, and that's the part I think is like stressful, because it felt so clear that there was going to be a clear story at the end of this game that I don't feel like I can grab onto, right? Like, at least for me, I thought coming into this game, I'll be able to say, like, the Colts are really ready for this next level of competition. But they didn't do it.
Well, we've now on this show at different times this season said the Chiefs are done, said the Chiefs are all the way back.
Yeah.
And now it just feels like we're just trying to scope out new ground to hit with the Chiefs. Like we're bored of having these like polarizing takes on the Chiefs.
Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Domonique, say it with your chest. Say what you really feel about the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, I feel like they're the same as last year. And last year I was shocked that they made it to the Super Bowl. And so like I feel the same. Like I don't see them as a team. They obviously aren't going to get to bye. They're probably going to have to go on the road. I don't see them as the team that's going to be able to win 3 games in a row on the road.
Anything's possible in this.
I know. That's the thing is I also think that they're capable of beating everybody. And they did it last year.
Do you guys know where they rank in ESPN's Football Power Index?
No, 5.
Charlie?
4. Price is right.
First. They ranked first last week. Before the Colts game, they were first in the NFL.
All right, well, let's start printing up the banners.
Well, I don't
Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs, they did it again.
Bill, I just don't like how you just took over the show. You just I'm the captain now, and said it with your chest.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Good job, Bill.
My brain was trying to think of like a witty hot take to have about the Chiefs, and I was like, don't really have one.
Yeah,
don't really have one. I mean, I do think there's.
Can't wait for them to play the Cowboys.
My definitive take though is more about the Colts offense that I like.
You out?
I'm not out completely. I still think they're a very good football team.
1 foot out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I am. I'm a little bit curious about being out. I want to see what else is out there.
Out? Okay.
That's
why I like just maybe downloading some apps. Just seeing what else is out there on the Colts.
Charlie said he was going out to smoke a cigarette. He might be back. He might not be back. We don't know.
You should go pick up a new pack and just never coming home. Sorry, Colts.
All right. So the next one, we're lumping a few of these games together because there were some wins today that were against paltry opponents where the wins weren't that impressive. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to... Who had the most concerning performance today in a win? The Patriots beating the Bengals? The Lions barely beating in overtime Jameis Winston and the Giants? Or the Ravens winning comfortably against the Jets, but really not looking good offensively and Lamar looking limited physically?
I mean, I'd say it was the Ravens, honestly. Like I think this offense has been the driving force. The Lamar-led offense has been the driving force of this team for a while, and it hasn't been very good recently. I know he said that he's healthy. He doesn't look healthy. Then you put on top of it, as well as their defense has been playing recently, you get a Kyle Hamilton injury at the end of that game, which he is the joker in that defense that kind of is the special key that makes everything else work. And as things start to come together, that against a not very good Jets team, they struggled to get the win. Yeah, that was the one that was most concerning for me at home.
The Ravens only have 2 answers on defense. Take Cal Hamilton, and wherever he used to be, put him somewhere else, and that's how you fix their defense. So if they don't have that Cal Hamilton key, they don't know how else to fix it. They can call the technician. It's going to take him a few weeks to show up to fix this defense. I agree with you, Domonique Foxworth, that it is the Baltimore Ravens, because I've seen the Lions be inconsistent.
Yeah.
I have seen the Patriots be inconsistent. I've also seen them play really well.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of great Ravens performances on the resume this year. And we have been sort of sitting here now waiting for a while, right? Like early in the year it was, the defense sucks, but they're banged up and they're kind of integrating some new players. It's going to take a while, but they'll figure it out. It's the Ravens on defense, and the defense looks fine. We'll see what happens with the Hamilton injury, but hopefully that's not a long-term thing. Offense was great. Then Lamar gets hurt. And then it's like, okay, well, they can just get Lamar back. They're going to be fine. And they've gotten Lamar back. They're telling us Lamar is fine. Lamar is telling us Lamar is fine. And Domonique, your eyes don't deceive you. I don't think my eyes deceive me. He don't look fine. He does not look like normal Lamar Jackson. He doesn't look like he wants to be normal Lamar Jackson in terms of letting loose, in terms of hitting full acceleration, in terms of like those easy button first downs only Lamar Jackson gets because he is so fast and so quick and so smart and has such great vision. those are not there. And so this feels like a slog. I've talked about this all year. Like the Ravens had big plays in their rushing attack earlier this year, but they were abysmal by success rate. And they continue to struggle to run the football. This is a Jets team without Quinton Williams, who is now on the Dallas Cowboys. A team that does not have Sauce Gardner, that's down multiple starters. And they were not good, reliable, running the football in this game. And this has been a yearly trend. I mean, the Ravens offense, which was the thing keeping them afloat earlier this year, doesn't feel like it's hitting second gear, let alone fourth, fifth gear. And they might need fourth or fifth gear. I don't know how much I still trust this defense. And I feel like the Ravens are lying to me at this point. And I have no reason to believe that things are going to get better, or that Lamar is suddenly going to be healthy next week when it's been week after week of him saying, I'm fine, and week after week of looking at him and saying he's not fine.
And we see that they are 30th in the league in red zone touchdown rate. Like, that is also a problem. A team that was, like, again, speak to Lamar's health or not health, or at least his effectiveness, is one of the reasons why they were the best team in the red zone last year, was because of Lamar Jackson's unique ability. And they've been bad in the red zone. And it seems like when you're going to end up playing these close games that they're all going to end up in, especially more and more, if you can't pull away like you used to, like, you have to be effective in the red zone. And they haven't been, which there's no, like, if they can't do it right now, I don't imagine what they're going to change that's going to fix it. And if Lamar is healthy as he says he is, then I'm not sure. I'm more concerned, I guess, about this team than I am about the Lions or the Patriots, given what they had. Like, to your point, we've seen those teams have great games. And even in this Lions game, Jahmyr Gibbs went absolutely insane, which was fun to watch.
Oh, the overtime touchdown was awesome.
But I don't have that in the Ravens' history, at least this year. I guess the Dolphins, they dominated the Dolphins, but I don't know. They just not the same as they started the year so promising. They were running through
first 3 quarters
the Bills, and then from the fourth quarter on, it's just been kind of ugly.
Yeah,
it was the Giants game, the platonic ideal of what a really bad quasi-tanking team can have happen in November.
Yes.
Like, wildly entertaining.
Yes.
You get Jameis Winston mossing a linebacker for a touchdown, or like running a linebacker over on like a busted trick play. You get like a random huge game from Wendell Robinson. And then they
Jameis had 360
and lose. He had 360 and left a bunch more on the table. He could have easily had 400 in this game.
We talking Jameis?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, is Jameis our good hands moment?
No, we'll save that for another person who deserves it.
Oh,
I was going to give it to Jameis.
I thought you had planned to give it to Jameis.
Yeah, I mean, the Jameis I had, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Someone's usurped Jameis from this award. We'll get to him next. But the Jameis thing was so fun to watch.
It's one of the best offseason acquisitions that, like, you can't predict how it's going to be great, because you think that you get someone because they're going, or that a best acquisition is going to be because this player puts you over the top. It makes you a championship contender. Jameis is the best bad team quarterback that's ever existed.
I didn't think Brian Daboll should have been fired until I realized he played Russell Wilson for a month and had Russ as the primary backup whenever Jackson Dart got hurt ahead of Jameis Winston. We could have got Cowboys versus Giants, the bad Cowboys defense, with Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbo and Jameis against Dak. That would have been incredible.
Oh, hold on. We need a timeout. You said Russell Wilson. Seeing him have to go out for the overtime coin toss where he was wearing his helmet and Jared Goff is wearing his base, it was just mortifying.
Yeah,
it was mortifying. I mean, the Jameis thing, he started the day with the pregame speech where he yelled, "We outside, but we actually inside." Yeah.
How does he manage to pull this off? To be like so silly, but still people like take him seriously. It's amazing. It's an amazing feat that he's pulled off. And I mean, you have to play reasonably well, which he absolutely. I mean, he had a good game. 360,
was tossing it all over the yard. The touchdown, elite celebration in the end zone. The dice roll West Side Story thing with those
choreographed. Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah.
They lost, but it still was really fun.
Whatever. He was the winner of the day. It was still awesome.
No question. No question.
Okay, well, now, since we're getting to it, let's get your hands up. It's time for the Good Hands plays presented by Allstate. And you're in good hands with JSN, Jaxon Smith-Njigba.
Yeah,
He has reached a level, he's on pace for 2,000 yards. He is averaging almost the exact amount of same yards per game as Calvin Johnson, who has a legitimate chance to break his single-season receiving record in 16 games. Might as well the 17th game to put him over 2,000 yards. What I think is so interesting about this, the Seahawks beat the Titans today, and the Titans made it a game. They fought till the end. But we had a legitimate discussion last week about the Seahawks offense maybe not being one-dimensional, but some things being figured out with personnel packages, not going heavy to match them because we know that they don't have a running game. They want to throw the ball deep to JSN. None of it has seemed to matter. Whatever you put out there, he's defense agnostic. The 2 touchdown catches he made today were unbelievable. And he had this quote after the game where he looked cool as by the way, in his cowboy hat saying, I have better ball tracking skills than a lot of DBs. I can feel them freak out and tense up while the ball's in the air. And what I want to ask you guys about this is, how do you explain how dominant JSN has been this year when it feels like he's the entirety of the Seahawks offense?
I can't explain it. Like, it feels hard to. He's obviously a very good receiver, a great receiver, great route runner, has good speed, good change of directions. But it's like he presents like a good receiver. Like, I'm not surprised that he's having a good all-time great with
like a Jerry Rice season right now.
I can't explain it when he is obviously the focal point of every opposing defense. And as great as Sam Darnold's been, it's not as if he's playing with Matt Stafford or someone who's like gonna fill up the stat sheet for just about anybody. So like, it's impossible to explain. I think when I watch him play, the thing that stands out to me is it's not only that he creates explosive plays in almost every game he plays in, multiple explosive plays. It's how cool and calm he looks with the ball in the air, which I even see like good receivers. If you look back at like deep balls caught by anybody, like you see their body shaking and you see they feel like they are like in less control. So like he said, he has more control than like DBs. Comparing himself to DBs with the ball in the air is not doing it any justice. Like watching the one-handed catch last week, he just seems so calm and completely under control. The ball is never out of reach for him. He times it up just right. It's a bunch of small things that I think even coaches overlook discussing that he does well.
You may remember when Jaxon Smith-Njigba came out into the NFL, it wasn't like people talked about him like he was going to be this crazy downfield threat. He was going to
Some
be this
people
huge
did.
burner. They did.
People. I'll tell you who did.
Uh-oh.
Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Yes.
who called him the natural, who said that he is the best football player they've ever seen, who said it's going to be silly the things that he does to people in the NFL when he was underdrafted. But yes, the scouts did not.
Well, the people who would really know,
Yeah.
not his teammates, fellow wide receivers at Ohio State, the scouts.
Yeah, they're all pro
Like
receivers.
he wasn't talked about like this. Like
Right.
It wasn't like he's going to be Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or Jameson Williams. Like he did not have that profile. It was like, oh, he's going to be a really good pro. He's going to be like, they didn't talk about him the way they talked about Emeka Ibuka, another guy who didn't have that rep and has been a downfield burner and a guy who went at every level for the Bucs this year. But like, he's so smooth as a route runner. He is such a terror on the entire route tree, it feels like, that I think teams have to just honor that. Like, I think it's sort of like that thing of maybe he is smoother than it seems. Like, there are certain guys in the NFL, Derrick Henry's a really good example, where it's just like, you see defensive backs throughout his entire career go to a spot in the open field thinking, okay, this is where I'm going to get Derrick Henry. And routinely, every single big play for Derrick Henry, he beats them to that spot and is past them. And it's like, oh, where'd he go? And like, these are like great plays. I remember Micah Hyde had it happen to him when he was at the peak of his career on the Bills. It kind of feels like JSN has that like sort of like gear of like lulling defensive backs to sleep almost. And then like once he gets past you, he's catching everything that's thrown in his direction. I mean, it really feels like he is such a complete receiver to an extent that even this time last year, I don't think anybody was talking about him that way, but it's been that case pretty much since the very end of last season and now throughout the entirety of 25.
Just call my man deceptively fast. I appreciate it, though. He is deceptively. I mean, it's deceptive in a different way, but it is. You're right. It doesn't look. I feel like we've grown accustomed to like expecting this from guys who have some sort of like body type that feels different. Like Justin Jefferson stands out on the field. Jamar Chase stands out on the field as a receiver. Like those guys stand
Jefferson
out.
does stand out because he's standing by himself and there's no footballs heading in his direction.
We'll get there.
We're gonna we keep teasing it. We keep teasing it. We're gonna get there eventually.
The JSN thing,
Sorry,
it feels like I don't remember. Obviously, I don't remember seeing prime Jerry Rice, but it feels like this season he's as dominant as like the best years of Randy Moss, the level of Tyreek Hill, the level of Antonio Brown, the level of Calvin Johnson. And I think of the best 4 receivers I remember watching. Like JSN feels on that level. And he's doing it with Sam Darnold with an incomplete offense. I know some of the other receivers have done that in the past. It's just
no. I'm just
really
saying that like the names that you include him with. And I guess
all different shapes.
Right. And they all look like they stand out in a way that I guess maybe not Jerry Rice, but all the guys that you name like stand out in a way physically on the field. It's something that they do. That
you think like, AB did too?
Yeah. AB, like the explosive, it's not even like body tight. Like this quickness that AB had was like, oh, that's special. Everyone has something that you're like, oh, I can pick out. I know why he's this good. And for him, it's something that's harder to pinpoint. And it has us like reaching for like maybe his speed is deceptive. Maybe he has better body control deep down the field. It's really hard to pick out, which is unique.
Question. Who is having a better season in your guys' eyes? JSN or Myles Garrett? Myles Garrett had 3 more sacks, he has 18 on the year. He is 4.5 sacks away from breaking the single season sack record. He has 6 more games to do it.
This is relevant, Charlie. I can bring in breaking news to the program.
Give it to us.
Myles Garrett was so good today that the Raiders fired Chip Kelly as we recorded this broadcast. Like midway through the first year of him being the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Myles Garrett out here getting people fired.
And it's not even Browns people getting fired.
I think the answer is Myles Garrett.
It's like
they both are on pace to break the record of their position, like the most important record of their position. The sacks for Myles Garrett and receiving yards for JSN.
The Myles Garrett thing is crazy. And not to take away from JSN, it's just like he could have 25 sacks this year. Like that's like genuinely on the more. He could have in the next 6 games.
No question.
Because he could put the record so far out of reach. It feels like it's completely different than what it had been before. And
he's doing this on the Browns.
Yes,
it's not like they're getting a ton of pass attempts against them every game.
My point exactly. The second half, teams are trying to park the bus. They're up against the Browns. It's incredible. It's up there. It's a pantheon defensive season, along with like the best we saw from. Remember the year that JJ Watt had was like 3rd in the league in passes defensed. It's like that. Or the era when whatever team signed Dion won the Super Bowl. Like it feels like that.
Do you think either of them have a viable chance at winning MVP?
Yes.
Nope. I mean, should they or do they?
So what's the number? If Myles Garrett has like 27 sacks.
So I mean, they're not going to give the MVP to a team that's not in the playoffs. That is not a realistic contender. That's out. So that's just not going to happen.
So Myles Garrett's out. You just.
I'm not saying that he should be out. I'm saying I'd be stunned.
What if you got 30?
This would be the first time
if he gets 30.
What's the number?
The number that would get him NFL MVP.
Yes.
We do have kind of a down year for quarterbacks. I guess Matt Stafford and Drake May are having good quarterback years, but it's not like last year. How many sacks? This is a ridiculous question. I don't know if there's a number that there's enough sacks for him.
So if he had 30 sacks, he wouldn't get MVP.
On the losing team, no. On a team that doesn't make the playoffs, no. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's what I believe.
30, he's got to get it.
Bill,
you think the Bilk would be filling out their ballots?
Yes,
and being like, I'm not giving it to him.
I think the Bilk might give it to him. I think everyone else would not.
There's a lot of Bilk these days, Dominique. Unfortunately, your old pal Bill is not part of the Bilk with the ballot. I'll say that much. But he is on pace. I'm doing the math. He's on pace for 28 sacks. Like it's not even crazy to think he would get to 30. He might have 35.
He's capable of getting 5 in a game. He's done it before.
Yeah, this is a quiet day with 3. Like
Yeah,
I also felt like he could have had more in this game.
Yes, I do too.
I'm with you. I think it was a good question, but I think we're doing him a disservice by talking about whether he's an MVP or not. Like, is this going to be an all-time defensive, like the best player, the best season by a defender ever? Like, that's a conversation that's more realistic to have. But I think which rightfully or not so, we are very focused on the winning and the losing. We do not remember and celebrate people who had incredible seasons on bad teams. It's just not something we do.
What about JSN? Do you think JSN has a shot? Because I do.
I don't.
I think Stafford's going to win it. I
Yeah.
think part of it's like a lifetime achievement award too. But like he's also been awesome. But I think those three all have a shot. Like the number, like it's possible to have like 2,100 receiving yards versus 28 sacks versus the Stafford season. It's like 40 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Like it's not the MVP season we thought, where we think it's again Lamar versus Mahomes versus Josh Allen, but it's really interesting. It's like it's actually like a more diverse group of candidates than years past in an interesting way. And unfortunately for Jonathan Taylor, he's probably out of it.
Yeah.
Charlie, I will throw one possibility out there for you, since we are on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
This week, what if the immortal Airstream trailer shows up to Browns camp and Myles Garrett is getting exactly what Matthew Stafford got to fix his back before the year? I don't know if he's hurt, but he's getting superpowers for these final few games of the year for an MVP push. He might get to 40 if he has the Airstream.
The 40. I love the Airstream.
Before we move on, if you had to pick one of the two to give it to, which one would you give it to? You go to JSN, right? If you had to give the MVP to Myles Garrett or JSN, no quarterbacks allowed, I would go with JSN. I mean, I would go with
JSN. Yeah. I agree with you. If you take JSN off that offense, it's not pretty. It is not pretty. That is a very ugly, scary offense. So yeah, I think JSN for that reason.
So let's do the opposite. We're talking to someone who's playing at like a really low level, which is JJ McCarthy against the Packers today. It was really rough. The interceptions, like, they're now showing the mechanical flaws on the broadcast. They're like using the telestrator to show his his plant leg like spinning out as he's throwing. And it raises a legitimate question because he has 9 interceptions in 6 games. It looks like it's unraveling in like a way that's like somewhat uncomfortable even to watch.
It looks like it was already unraveled and has continued somehow to ravel less and less.
It's really a tough watch.
Yeah.
And so the question I have off this is, they invested the first round pick in this guy.
More.
They still traded up.
Yeah, they traded up for it. They
traded up twice.
You know, they got rid of Sam Darnold for this. There's been a lot of investment in this guy. And what's better moving forward? Benching him for Max Brosmer, if it's Brosmer, I'm sorry. Brosmer. Or playing him next week against the Seattle defense? What's better for JJ McCarthy moving forward?
No, I didn't realize he was playing Seattle next week.
Yeah.
Poor Nine.
Based on Bill's laugh and him covering his face, I think the answer, it's a tough one because benching him is really debilitating, or you would imagine would be really tough. But that's Seahawks
in Seattle.
Yeah.
What's your worse?
I mean, I think I'm taking. You got to play 9. You got to play. If you ask me what's better or worse for him, it would appear that it's obviously better for him not to play against them. But like, if you ask me what I would do, is like, we gotta go. We gotta go. Like, we're not gonna just give up on it at this point. You gotta go out there. If it goes poorly, then we'll make the move. Like, giving up on him at this point feels like the wrong thing to do. They keep saying how it's only been 6 games now, and it's like, all right, well, he needs more reps. You give him some more reps.
He does. And this team is 4-7. It's not like this is last year's Vikings where Sam Darnold had them winning games. Like, if JJ McCarthy could have come back second half of last year and he played like this, he would have been benched because Sam Darnold had been playing well and there was something to play for. This Vikings team is not making the playoffs. Maybe they'll shock the world, but they're 4-7. They're in a tough division. This is being recorded I don't want to have me saying they're not going to make it because their defense could get white hot for 6 games. They're not going to make the playoffs. At this point, that's all you can do. Like there's nothing. It's not like you have a prospect behind him you feel good about. Like, it's not as if you're not naive to what's happening here, but like, it already sucks. It's not going to get any better if you bench him. The only way it could possibly get better would be to play him. Because even if he plays and gets hurt, at least then you have an excuse.
I mean, I think the argument for benching him would be like, we could take a step back, give him
The Bryce Young.
The Bryce Young.
refocus and come on back. Like that. That's a reasonable argument to make.
Happened to Eli Manning too. Early in his career, he got benched a few times.
I don't know that I would be ready to pull that move just yet. So I think you're right. Like, at this point, especially since his issue is that he's a younger guy who hasn't played a lot. Like, you gotta keep playing.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I think that this is entering the territory, the unraveling thing, where it's like, I don't think it's productive to have him out there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what like the statistical comparisons are, but like, this is.
You didn't see the EPA stat for him?
What is it?
I'm gonna get the exact person who said it. I don't want to steal their stuff. But basically, out of 842 quarterbacks, JJ McCarthy by EPA per dropback is 841st out of 842. It's not ideal. You don't want to rank 841.
It's also just the misses don't look like. Sorry, it's Jamarcus Russell, and I have it's Anthony Amico is the person who tweeted this out. Amico yes. Again. Sorry,
Anthony Amico. Yes, JJ McCarthy 851 out of 852 by EPA per dropback among qualified passers since 2000.
It just feels like. I don't know if this is a Josh Rosen situation where they move on or they bring in competition, but this feels like an unraveling. Like the misses don't look like you guys. Everyone took the out of me for loving Anthony Richardson last year. Like the inaccuracy without the tools looks worse than that in certain ways. Like, the interceptions he's throwing are so far off target that, like, to me, whether the mechanics unraveling is a somatic response to not having command of the offense or whatever it is, like, this is something that I think will get worse, not better, moving through it in a way that, like, if you have any faith in him moving forward as your quarterback, I don't think you put him out there.
Do you put any of this on Kevin O'Connell? Like, do you feel like he has any blame in this scenario?
Absolutely. I mean, I guess I don't feel like anybody is blameless. I think ultimately, of course, no, I don't think anybody in that building, anyone decision makers with power are blameless. From Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah to Kevin O'Connell to, well, I guess I'll let Max Brosmer off the hook. It's not his fault.
O'Connell's like a good coach. He's not like a magician. Like, what's happening on the field, like.
Well, I guess this is the point. It's like I don't know. He's the coach. He got a pick that he liked enough that they moved up to get. The fact that it's not panning out on the field is, I'm not going to say all on the player.
I know, but this just doesn't feel like Urban Meyer with Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, that's a different
Michael
level.
Jordan bullying Kwame Brown.
That's a different level of culpability. I'm saying that he deserves some blame. I'm not saying that this is all his fault. Like, I think the Urban Meyer thing, people would say, pretty much on him.
Yeah, it's kicking kickers.
Yeah, right. That's bad. I'm just saying that this is, you picked him. Whatever you saw, you liked. You wanted it. You had a whole year last year to ease him in. You did all that. You had this off season and this season.
He got hurt in the surgery. The first surgery didn't work.
Right.
Second surgery.
But I mean, I guess that impacts the mechanics, but the mental part of the game is like, you would argue that for a young player, which he was, like, rarely, or he was uniquely young, that time is time that you can use to focus to catch up mentally. Like, I don't think you can let anybody off the hook in this situation. I'm not saying that they need to fire anybody as a result. Like, this is obviously a well-constructed team. It's also a well-coached team, but this is an organizational failure. It's not just McCarthy's. So,
Charlie, would you be approaching this over the offseason as we have to get competition, like serious competition for this guy situation?
Yeah.
Or are you done? Is it just like I am getting whatever starter I can get, even if it's like Kyler Murray?
You mentioned Rosen.
I wouldn't want to get locked in with a long contract like a Kyler Murray. Like, I know that people are super high on the 2027 draft compared to the 2026 one. who knows? Like, you know what I mean? Like a year from now, people might be super down on that draft. So I'd want to keep optionality, locking into Kyler Murray as my starter.
You want to be quarterback contract agnostic.
Yes. Thank you for,
he's a big agnostic guy.
In a vacuum. In a vacuum, I think that's the right decision. But no, I mean, like, I don't want to be locked into something, but if you asked me, would I be more comfortable with having JJ McCarthy as my potential starter versus a more established guy, I would feel very uncomfortable if I was the GM, the coach, the offensive coordinator going into next season with JJ McCarthy as my starter. Like, I would feel like my job is very much at risk.
They obviously will bring, I guess the question is, will they bring in somebody who's there to compete or bring in somebody who's there to start?
Do you think they regret not signing Rodgers?
No.
Well, they still got Brosmer. We don't know. Brosmer might be better than Rodgers. He might be better than McCarthy.
In a vacuum.
I mean,
in a vacuum.
We'll see what they do. I don't think it's going to be as easy to bring in somebody with some like level of success already, because I know like you got your eyes on Mac Jones or somebody like that. I think it's going to be a lot harder to bring a player like that in than you think. So they might end up in the market with McCarthy as the like penciled in starter, and in the market for quarterbacks that they have to like completely turn around, not quarterbacks who have had success before. I mean, Mac Jones has another year on his contract. Like, they're gonna have to trade for him. Yeah, that's tough.
Trade for Mac Jones, flip JJ McCarthy straight up for Anthony Richardson, prosper.
Well, if you trade for Mac Jones, you're also gonna have to sign Mac Jones to an extension. Like, that's not, his agent's not gonna go for like, hey, just trade him, we play on the end of this contract. That's just not gonna happen.
If there's any team that has proven you should not be valuing quarterbacks, you should be letting them cycle through, it is the Kevin O'Connell Minnesota Vikings. Get those dudes in, get those dudes out. Do not make them stick around. Have as many options as possible. Anytime anyone gets cut, bring him in. You're going to be starting 3 weeks from now. We have no faith in any of these guys.
Yeah, that made sense a few months ago. It looks less like a solid strategy at this point.
I don't know.
Davis Mills could cook there.
Based on the trends, we may be back to where we started with Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold by the end of the season.
Yeah, it is. Charlie's become a big Davis Mills guy, just so you know. Just get ready for that.
A tiny bit of hyperfixation.
He's locked in.
Davis Mills. Just a smidge. Well, I'm really into the defense, and then Davis Mills is...
Don't get embarrassed now, because
I'm not.
Company. You really like Davis Mills. You think he's a baller. You think he's better than... I'm not going to say it.
I do not think that.
You want to say it.
I don't. I just like saying the Houston Texans.
All right. On that note, thank you so much, Bill, for joining us and making our show so much better. You're the man. Thank you, Charlie Kravitz. I love you, Podville. This is Domonique Foxworth Show, presented by Allstate. Throw your hands up, and we out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.